Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be prepping for fall together. I'm also testing this new little mic that I got for a upcoming travel video. So if it's bad, bear with me. I'll find out afterwards. But today on the agenda, I feel a little bit weird holding it like this, but we're just gonna go with it. Today on the agenda, I wanna redo the bookshelf a little bit, switch out some books, put some fall decor up there. First up, actually, we're gonna make some soup because I am hungry and cold, and pumpkin soup is just the perfect cure for all of those things. And then obviously we're gonna read a fall book, and we're gonna go over my October/entire fall TBR. Uni starts again in October, so I probably won't be reading that many books each month, but these are just kind of the books that I want to read in the fall. And then we'll see what else the day brings, but that's kind of the plan. I might bake something. I think I'm also gonna unhaul some books from my TBR shelf in there in the bedroom, and I actually sold one of them already, so we also need to head to the post office. I'm hoping with new photos I'm gonna sell some more of those books, because I have a few that are already unhauled, but they're still in the bookshelf because I haven't sold them yet. But then I want to go over the bookshelf again, not this one, because these are the books that I read and loved for the most part. But in there's some that I haven't read yet and some that I don't love, so we might go through those and unhaul a few more and try and sell them on Vinted, because I do need some space, because this bookshelf is about to burst and this is the biggest one I have, and I don't really want to add more bookshelves around the apartment. Anyways, we're gonna start out with making some pumpkin soup today. Okay, second mic test is gonna be the mic sitting on my sweater here. I have a feeling that this is not gonna be the best audio, but we'll try. The dishwasher is also running, so if you hear any noises in the background, that's what that is. Anyways, we have a cute small little pumpkin. I found out that this pumpkin size is actually perfect for me eating pumpkin soup for the next today, tomorrow night probably, so like 2-3 times a day. Because the huge pumpkins, this one looks tiny, but the huge pumpkins are always so big, and I can't be eating pumpkin soup for a whole week. So we're just gonna work with this. I'm gonna add some potatoes, and then we also have Greek yogurt because I don't have any cream and I don't really want to go out and buy anything. So that's what we have. Okay, I'm actually gonna listen to this audio because I'm so nervous that it's gonna be so bad. While the soup is cooking, we're gonna take care of my bookshelf because it's a little bit of a mess. We're just gonna ignore that, by the way. The first thing that I'm seeing, let me show you the bookshelf first. This entire thing is the TBR shelf. The first thing I'm seeing is I recently read this book, The Stolen Heir, and I want these to be with the other parts of the series, so we're gonna take those out of here. And then these can stay here for now. These will also have to stay here. This one I'm not sure about. We might unhaul this one. And then here's some more random books. I already read Throne of Glass. We might put those up there so that we have a little bit more space here. And these are all just unread books. But yeah, as I said, we're definitely gonna take out the Holly Black books. This one I recently read. This is the second part in the duology that I need to read. And this is a beautiful kind of illustrated, kind of storytelling book, and I just wanted to have this because it's stunning and it needs to be with the other ones. Which means if I take those out, I can put some of the books above you, like Homebound and The Girls and The 5-Star Weekend. I can just put those down here. This book, actually, maybe we're gonna read this today, because every time I pick this up and I put it on my TBR and I never really read it. It's super short, it's a horror book, and I think it also matches my nails. That's a sign. We're gonna read this book today, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna DNF it and then I'm gonna put it up on Vinted. But yeah, we have a read for today, and I'm gonna put those 3 books out there, and I think I'm actually just gonna leave Throne of Glass where it is currently. I need a house so that I can have a little library and that all of my books can be stored the way they're supposed to be stored. But yeah, I'm not gonna get a house today, so let's go outside. The soup is served. I also have a little piece of slightly hard bread, some pumpkin seed oil. I don't know if other people do this in my family, like people in Austria add pumpkin seed oil to pumpkin soup because it tastes like a little bit, not really hot, but like it has a little bit of a different taste, and it's really, really good. And this just looks divine, perfect. I'm gonna eat this, and then afterwards we're gonna set up the bookshelf. All right, so this is the current state of the bookshelf. It's not bad. I just want to be a little more like fall themed, Halloween themed, basically. I have 4 decor items that we're gonna switch out, but we're actually gonna head to the mall a little later because my boyfriend needs to return a shirt. So I thought we might stop at one of those little trinket shops and see if I can find anything else. So let's start out with this thing. It's a little pumpkin and it lights up. Then we have my favorite thing, a ghost walking his ghost dog. And then I also have a few of these sticky bats left. They're just like flat, but I can stick them onto things. And then I have this candle that's like salt stone, and I like this candle, so we're gonna put it on there. And then I've decided that besides these 3 books, I'm also gonna add Babel and then also Yellowface to this shelf because I want them to be on display out here. Yellowface we actually need to pick up today from the post office because I ordered that on Vinted. I read it on Kindle, but it was so good that I wanted to have it as a physical copy, and I love the look of those books together, I think, because this one is like silver and Yellowface is gold. I got the gold version and I just want those out on display. If you can hear the dishwasher, we're just gonna have to ignore that, and let's see what kind of little trinkets I can take away. Maybe switch out some vases or pictures or something. I just want it to look a little bit different. I'm not gonna switch out any like big stacks of books, like the romance books and Ekatar up there. Obviously they're not super fall-y, but it's just my bookshelf. We're just gonna leave the main part as it is. Okay, we got the updated bookshelf up there. Nothing changed. I put this stack right here because I think that just looks amazing. And then later, Yellowface is gonna go here. I'm gonna move those out. And then, what else did I change? I unhauled some books from here and here. I'll show you in a sec. Down here we have my little ghost dog with my dog photo book in the back. I put the candle here. I'm not sure about it because I'm never gonna light it here, but that's okay. We have the full fog of the air thing. There we go. Nothing changed here, I think. I put the little pumpkin down here, unhauled some of the romance books. Now we have Abby Jimenez little shelf situation right here. I reorganized my horror books a little bit. Now, well, these are not horror, but I now have a little bit more space for future freaky books I read. And then I put a little bat right here, and this also just stayed the same. I am actually surprised at how many books I ended up unhauling. Hello, who am I? I thought all of these were books that I love, but I have a few that I either don't love or there's no point in me keeping them if I have books that I like better. Number 1, Make Your Bed. This book has 10 chapters about discipline, basically, and it does make a nice speech, but I don't need it in my collection. It looks nice. I should not keep this. Then I have Launch, a business book about how to launch products, but I'm not planning on doing that soon, so we don't need that. Also, I read this like 4 years ago and the information was good, but like, yeah, we don't need to talk about that. Didn't like this book at all. I bought it new and I listened to the audiobook, so this is practically completely new unread. But I don't know. I wouldn't recommend the book to anybody because I thought it was just really boring and there was really no point in it, so I'm gonna unhaul. Do I need to say anything about it? I hated the 2 main characters and I don't want to keep this book because it's bright orange and I didn't like it, so yeah. Then I have 2 Christmas books. I did enjoy these, but there's no point in me keeping Christmas books. I would buy books from this author again, but there's just no point in me having them. Or should I keep? I don't know, because they're also like YA fantasy. I'm never gonna reread those, and maybe somebody else wants to read them. They were good books. I gave them probably like 4 stars, so no shame on those books. Shame on these books though. Actually, I only ever ended up reading the first one. I hated this so much. The first chapter, they meet on a road where she's like a damsel in distress because a bear is like running up to her because she's taking selfies. And it's just a weird vibe and I didn't like this. So we're gonna give that away. And then I did read and annotate the first part. Well, I didn't annotate, I underlined things. I don't know, I feel like there's better Elsie Silver books and this is just not for me because it's single dad and I don't really care about kids in books. When it's like a romance book, I don't really care about this series. So unhaul. And then we have another Christmas book I never ended up reading because, as I mentioned in a couple vlogs ago, I feel like I now found my taste in books. And it's not Christmas romance books. I can't say anything bad about the book. Or actually, did I read this book? I did read that. I have no idea, no clue what this book was about. So I guess I still can't say anything about it. But yeah, we're gonna unhaul this because again, there is no point in me keeping Christmas books. And then this one, I'm not gonna unhaul, I'm gonna return because this belongs to somebody else and I was gonna read it, but I hated the second part, so we're not gonna. So yeah, that's my book unhaul. Wait, let me show you. Quite a few books. I'm proud of myself for actually getting rid of some of them. Now we just need to take photos for Vinted and send them on their way. Hopefully they all sell today because the point of Vinted, like the point of selling stuff in Vinted, is that it's gone and I don't want these to be sitting in there in the other bookshelf just because I can't sell them. So I'm probably gonna list them for pretty cheap because I just want them gone. Anyways, this is the new and improved fall bookshelf. I feel bad because literally nothing changed. Like a few small things changed. This guy, you can see him, he changed. But yeah, we're gonna see if we find more decorations. For now, I'm just gonna list these books on Vinted. I am all ready. While I was photographing all of the books, I actually ended up selling 2 already, so we're gonna take those with me, take them to the post office, and now, why is it blurry? And now I'm gonna look at some fall decor. It's not actually that cold, so I'm just wearing this little sweater. But yeah, let's go. Back from the mall and I have my package. We're gonna open it together. This is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. As I mentioned before, I got the gold cover, I think, I hope. And let's see, it also looks like I'm gonna be selling like 6 of the books that I unhauled today because I have a lot of requests already, which is great. Yes, perfect. Yellowface. Book of the Year. Babel also has this Book of the Year sticker. I love this so much. It's gonna look so nice, both of them next to each other. And this smells like it's still new. I think somebody read this, didn't even crack the spine, and decided they wanted to get rid of it, which is great because I wanted to have this. As I said before, this is not only October TBR, this is full fall TBR because I'm gonna have time for like 1 book a month for the rest of the year. But since I showed you Yellowface, I really want to read Babel pretty soon because I really like R.F. Kuang's writing and this is supposed to be so good. I've heard so many things, and so I really want to get to this one very soon. I recently read The Stolen Heir and this is the second part in that duology, so I want to read this one soon as well, so I have the whole series complete. All of these are kind of random. There's not really a theme. There's some darker fall witchy vibe books in there, but they're all just kind of random. I also want to read the Book of Doors. I got this for the cover. It is just, oh, it's science fiction. I was gonna say it's just literary fiction, but no, it's science fiction. So this is kind of the fantasy book, I guess. Well, there's a couple of fantasy books, but science fiction, okay. Well, the thing is, it also doesn't say anything about the plot on the back. It just like praise for the book. It says praise for the Book of Doors. But I've also heard great things about this, so we're gonna read that. And I just love this book so much because it's like a little bit illustrated and the paper is different to regular paper. I am a graphic designer, so I do appreciate things like that. Oh, the chapters have little illustrations as well. Like this. Anyways, the Book of Doors is on a TBR. Then fantasy, witchy vibes. We have The Once and Future Witches. I've put this book on my fall TBR for the past 2-3 years, I don't know. But this year is gonna be the year that I actually finally get to it. I think this also has some illustrations. Oh, it just says part 2. But I've never read a book by Alex E. Harrow, and I have 2. There's another one on the TBR stack, and I just keep putting them off. But this year is the year that I'm gonna branch out for even more new authors, and she's definitely gonna be one of them because I want to read those books. Then we have The Familiar by Lee Bardugo. I would love to read the end of the Ninth House series by Lee Bardugo, but that's not coming on anytime soon, so we're gonna have to opt for this one. This is just straight up like adult fantasy. I don't think it's like spicy or anything, but I really appreciate that in the book nowadays because not every book needs to be ACOTAR, and I generally really like her writing. I'm kind of moving away from YA fantasy a little bit and just going for like regular good old fantasy, and I think this is gonna be very interesting. Remember when I just said I was gonna move away from YA fantasy? Well, we have the first book in the Vampire Academy series. This is the only vampire-esque book I own besides Twilight. The only other vampire book that I read besides Twilight, I hate it. And my sister got me this because she found it secondhand somewhere, and I want to read this. There's also a TV show for this, so we're gonna see how this goes. But this is YA fantasy, like to the T. It's about vampires at a school. We have Rebecca. This has been on my TBR forever, and I finally got the physical version. I love this cover. As far as I know, this is kind of a tragic, gothic, dark love story, but not like a romance book. It's just dark literature, I guess. So I'm gonna try and read this. Then I got this one recently, The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. I have come to the realization that I love fantasy books that are kind of like adult fairy tales, and this is exactly what I just described, so we're gonna get to this very soon. The other Alex E. Harrow book I have, The 10,000 Doors of January, also sounds so interesting, and I don't know why I put it off for so long. So this fall is the fall that we're gonna be reading both these books. And last but not least, If We Were Villains. I read Donna Tartt's Secret History last year, 2 years ago, I don't really remember. Last year I read The Dead Poet Society. Recently I watched a movie for Dead Poet Society, and I'm just craving a dark academia, fall vibes, weird friendship groups, and just dark personalities, you know, just dark academia to the T. And I've also had this for quite a while, so we're gonna try and get to this one this fall as well. But yeah, this is the fall TBR. There might be more books and like less heavy books added. We'll see, but that's what I wanna try and get to this fall. Would be great. I have some tea in my little ghost mug that I got out of the very top kitchen cupboard because they're coming out now. The spring mugs, the regular mugs are retiring. The ghost mug is back out. I'm about to read Good Girls Don't Die. It's about 3 women, Celia, Allie, and Maggie. They all kind of go through weird things. Celia wakes up in a house that isn't hers and doesn't recognize her family, and is just kind of a little weird. Allie is supposed to be on a fun weekend trip, but then they take a fun weekend trip into a cabin in the woods, and we all know what happens there. And Maggie wakes up in a shipping container with a number stamped onto the back of her t-shirt, and she has to complete a maze to find her daughter again. Each woman gets a section of the book, and at the end they're all together because 3 women, 3 stories, only one way out. So I guess they're all connected somehow. It also says a thriller so deliciously original you want to devour it whole. An electrifying read. I am a little biased on this book because I didn't like the other book that I read, The House That Horror Built, but I'm gonna try my best to give it a fair chance. But to me, waking up in a shipping container, Criminal Minds, NCIS, a basic TV show episode. Cabin in the Woods, we all know what happens in a cabin in the woods. The only thing that's original to me so far is she wakes up in a house that isn't hers, that doesn't recognize her family. That's weird. And yeah, it's not a super long book, so I'm gonna try and get to 100 pages in, or like here read like 5, 6 chapters and then see how I feel about it. And if I like it, great, I'll be very happy, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna put it up on Vinted as well. I'm also a little bit frustrated because I've sent out so many great offers to people, or like accepted so many great offers, but nobody's buying the books, and I want to package them and take them to the post office and have them out of my eyesight. But yeah, we're gonna read until that happens. And I also have Scent of Autumn in the Wizarding World, Magic of First Falling Leaves ambience on Hogwarts. It doesn't really match the spooky vibes, but it matches the fall vibes, so we're gonna go with it. Quick spoiler warning, what I'm going to talk about is going to be basically the content of the book, so if you don't want to be spoiled, move to this time. I think this is not a bad book. I think her writing style, her type of thriller and horror books just aren't for me. I read a couple of reviews because I was getting a feeling, just like I said, that they're kind of like classic thriller, horror, Criminal Minds episodes themes, and that's exactly what she was trying to do. There is a common theme that connects all of the women. I guess that's why 3 women, 3 stories, only one way out. The problem is the stories don't catch me. I've read the beginning of all 3 of them and I'm like, come on. I get what she was doing, and as I mentioned, I don't think it's a bad book. I think it's just not for me. I'm gonna put this up on Vinted too. It might also be like right book, wrong time. I don't really know, because from like the basic perimeters, I should like this book. I just don't for some reason. So I'm gonna DNF this and put it with my selling pile on Vinted. I have decided on another book that I'm gonna start. Vampire Academy, because I think oh, there's a person on the cover. I haven't noticed that until now. Can you see her? There's her nose. Anyways, I think what I need is just a very easy fall book that I can read, preferably while not only having an ambience on, but preferably watching a show like Gilmore Girls or something like that. Like, what's the other one? Vampire Diaries, something along those lines. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, and I'm just gonna read this book, and it's gonna be a fun time because, well, it's a YA vampire book, so it has to be fun, right? So I'm gonna read this next, and I'll let you know how it goes. I definitely won't finish this today because it's a whole book, and it's night already. But yeah, I'm very excited. There are, looks like 6 books in total, and there's a different person on each cover. I know that only the first, or maybe the first couple of books got a series, like TV show. So we'll see. If I like this, I might get all of the other ones, because sometimes it's fun to just read a book like that. Anyways, let's actually read the book. I'm guessing she just met another vampire. Rose is our main character. And all it says was that a man was watching me, and then he was tall, really tall. Tell me why I instantly just imagined Damon Salvatore as whoever that person is. And I know for a fact that if this person is not gonna be like the love interest, I'm gonna be imagining 2 Damon Salvatores, because that's just a vampire. Edward from Twilight, he's not the vampire, Damon is the vampire, you know? So yeah, we'll see how many Damons this book brings out. I'm a little bit into the book, and so far I'm enjoying it. I think I'm gonna watch the show too though, because I think that would just be kind of fun to have the visuals. But that's gonna be it for today's vlog, because I'm also getting a little bit tired. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm definitely very excited for fall now, and just looking at my bookshelf being 1, cleaned up, and 2, a little bit more on theme for the upcoming months is just making me very happy. And as I mentioned, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one.